But Michael was a brilliant entertainer because he watched everybody, you know, all the dancers especially. So he got the moonwalk from the Nicholas Brothers. And he did a lot of stuff from Fred Astaire and Jackie Wilson and people like that, all the dancers, James Brown. When I first saw him, he was a little James Brown.
Yeah. Imagine a voice so smooth it could melt hearts, lyrics so poetic they could tell 1,000 stories, and a career so impactful it shaped an entire genre of music. This is Smokey Robinson, a true legend of the music industry. From his early days in Detroit to his rise as a Motown icon, Smokey's journey is one of talent, perseverance, and immense influence. Join us as we delve into the life and legacy of Smokey Robinson, exploring his contributions to music and the lasting mark he has left on the world. Picture this, it's Detroit in the 1940s, and a young boy named William is growing up surrounded by the sounds of jazz, blues, and gospel. Born on February 19, 1940, William Robinson found his love for music early on. His uncle Claude, who nicknamed him Smokey Joe, was a big influence on his life. In high school, Smokey and his friends formed a doo-wop group called the Five Chimes. They were just a bunch of kids with big dreams, singing at local venues and perfecting their harmonies. After a few name changes, they became the Miracles. Then came the fateful day in 1957 when Smokey met Berry Gordy.
Smokey.
This meeting was like a match made in musical heaven, leading to the birth of Motown Records. Imagine the excitement when the Miracles' first major hit, Shop Around, hit the airwaves in 1960. It wasn't just a song, it was Motown's first million-selling single. This was the start of something huge. Hits like You've Really Got a Hold on Me, Tears of a Clown, and Tracks of My Tears followed, each song a masterpiece of emotion and melody. But Smokey wasn't just the voice of the Miracles. He was also the pen behind many hits. He wrote and produced for other Motown legends, crafting unforgettable songs like The Temptations, My Girl, Mary Wells' My Guy, Marvin Gaye's Ain't That Peculiar, and probably most notably the Jackson 5's Who's Loving You. Smokey's ability to write songs that felt both personal and universal made him a cornerstone of Motown. Smokey Robinson, born William Smokey Robinson Jr. on February 19, 1940 in Detroit, Michigan, grew up in a close-knit, music-loving family. His mother passed away when he was just 10 years old, leaving a significant impact on young Smokey. His father and older sister raised him, and his uncle Claude, who nicknamed him Smokey Joe, played a vital role in his early life. Claude introduced Smokey to cowboy movies and gave him the nickname to remind him of his heritage, a name that would eventually become synonymous with his musical career. In 1959, Smokey married Claudette Rogers, who is also a member of the Miracles.
I met Smokey, Smokey was 14, and he came to our house to rehearse with my brother Emerson, which we call Sonny. They had met, but he met Pete first. He and Pete were going to Cass Tech, I think for summer school. And they met each other and they were talking about music and what it was going to be like, and they had this group. My brother had a group called the Orchids, and of course at that time I had a group called the Orcherettes. And so when he became a Matador, I had a group called the Matadorettes. So I met him, and personally he was a very, very nice guy, but I didn't like him like a boyfriend, because he was my brother's friend. And as you know, sisters don't like their brother's friends, because then the brother's all in their business and whatever. But he kind of like was, I guess, pursuing me or something. And of course I wasn't sure what that even meant, you know, because, you know, when you're young and you're calling yourself looking at guys, I wasn't looking at him. I don't know if he was looking at me. Of course he says he was, but who knows. You know, later on, well, shoot, 5 years later, we actually ended up getting married. So I guess one of us or both of us had some kind of liking for each other.
Their union wasn't just personal, but professional, as they created music and shared stages together. The couple had 2 children, Berry William Borope Robinson, named after Motown's founder Berry Gordy, and Tamla Claudette Robinson, named after Motown's original label name, Tamla Records. Despite their deep connection, the pressures of the music industry and personal challenges led to their divorce in 1986 after nearly 27 years of marriage. In 2002, Smokey found love again and married Frances Gladney. The couple maintains a relatively private life, focusing on their personal happiness and Smokey's continued musical endeavors. They own a home in Pittsburgh, where Frances runs a skincare business. Smokey Robinson's journey wasn't always smooth. During the 1980s, he struggled with a serious addiction to cocaine. The pressures of the music industry and personal challenges took a toll on him.
You started taking drugs around this time yourself? And you waited until you got into your 40s before actually experimenting with drugs.
Weed or marijuana has always been my drug of choice. I don't drink. I've never drank or anything like that, except when I was, a young teenager and the boys, you buy some beer or something like that. I hated the taste of alcohol. I still do. So weed was my choice of drugs, so I would smoke some weed. But I never got off into any cocaine, even though I grew up in a neighborhood where there was everything. Yeah. Everything you could think of was in my neighborhood, So, but I never dibbled and dabbled in it because, it took me a long time to even smoke any weed,
Well,
so.
I guess you would sprinkle crack into your weed and smoke it that way?
No, it wasn't crack. Thank God it was
just cocaine?
before crack.
Just powder.
Thank God it was before crack. I would have written exactly what it was at that point. So why am I doing this to me? Why am I getting off into all this ridiculous drugs and all that, And then, but after it was over, and after I went through it, and after I was prayed for, and I was healed, and God healed me from that.
However, Smokey's resilience shone through. In 1986, after a friend's intervention and his own determination, he sought help and successfully overcame his addiction. This period of his life was transformative, and Smokey has since spoken openly about his struggles and recovery, aiming to inspire others facing similar battles. Beyond his musical legacy, Smokey Robinson is deeply committed to giving back to the community. He has been involved in various charitable activities, particularly focusing on youth education and music programs. He's worked with organizations like the United Negro College Fund and served as a spokesperson for the American Heart Association. Smokey's dedication to philanthropy underscores his belief in the power of music and education to transform lives.
Good evening, Mr. Robinson. You truly are a hero of mine and so many other African-American men. Your remarkable life and career are an example of what can happen when talent meets opportunity.
Smokey Robinson's personal life is also marked by his spiritual journey, faith, and how it helped him through difficult times. His 1987 album, One Heartbeat, includes the song Love Brought Us Here Tonight, which reflects his spiritual beliefs and personal reflections. Smokey's faith has been a guiding force, providing him with strength and purpose beyond his musical career.